Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now February 19th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Gina Carano fired situation, a lot of fans have been very skeptical about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, you name it. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. By the way, I hope everybody out there in Texas is still doing okay with the power grid issues and the record low temperatures. Hoping that you're all in touch with your family and friends and everybody is staying safe. Now, when we go ahead and look at what's been going on behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, we obviously know that a lot of fans have been up in arms over the Gina Carano fired situation. A lot of fans are very upset about that and expressing it in ways of canceling their Disney Plus subscription, and Disney is starting to recognize this. You know, Lucasfilm also is really starting to recognize exactly what kind of backlash that they are dealing with here. Now, Jon Favreau, for example, alright, this is a very busy man. He's working very hard with his partner Dave Filoni to really give fans as much Star Wars content as possible over the next couple of years. Sure, there are going to be a couple of setbacks on some of the shows because of the Carano firing. You know, that's creating a domino effect, if you will. The thing about all of this, though, however, is that a lot of fans are very curious as to what's going on with, of course, some of the Star Wars projects. Now, with that being said, Favreau and Filoni, as well as Lucas, you know, they are very much in tune with trying to grant the fans' wish to bringing Star Wars back to its roots, back to the George Lucas vision of the original trilogy and the overall tone of that, right? And by the way, Jon Favreau did an excellent job with bringing back Luke in the mix at the very end of Season 2. So on top of all of this, alright, given that, of course, The Mandalorian Season 3 is now well into development and is going to be going through some rewrites, Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe moving ahead. However, it's described that fans have been curious and skeptical about the future of the franchise and what Favreau and Filoni have in store. It's best noted that Kathleen Kennedy, however, in a recent interview, went on to discuss the Star Wars fandom. Of course, at one point in time, she blamed the Star Wars fans for many reasons as to why the fandom is divided. Kathleen Kennedy at one point in time stated that in her mind, the fans are overly demanding. Specifically, the fans who believe that the writers should listen to them and their wants and needs for either a Star Wars movie, TV show, or project, and that this puts pressure on the writers and ultimately created a divide within the fan base. Kennedy goes on to say that she believes that the loud fans from the backlash of The Last Jedi are a loud minority and not a majority, that were overly demanding and are what started the divide within the fandom, and are the core of the problem when it comes to Star Wars overall. Kennedy blames the fans that voiced their opinions over The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson for creating problems within the Star Wars franchise and feels it's best to not listen to the fans at all. Additionally, separate from all of this, the Gina Carano fired situation is said to have caused Kennedy to get very worried behind the scenes over the lost Disney Plus subscriptions. Further, it's noted that Lucasfilm intentionally fired Carano not just for what she posted on social media, but also how Lucasfilm employees kept on expressing their problems with Carano over her viewpoints and opinions, and that they wanted her out as soon as possible, and that her social media post was just a big excuse to get her out. Now, let me stop right here for a second. Kathleen Kennedy is completely wrong in my book that the fans are the core of the problem, that the fans are what created the divide. Where in reality, it was Rian Johnson who created the divide. Let's be real. I mean, he handled Luke Skywalker in such a poor and pathetic way that it did not resonate with fans in the least. Sure, some fans out there love The Last Jedi. If you guys like The Last Jedi, feel free to express that. You have your opinion on that, and that's fine. I accept everybody's opinion. You know, who am I to say that you can't like The Last Jedi or you can't watch The Last Jedi? All I'm saying is that a big part of the community has issues with The Last Jedi. That's a fact. You know, that's not, overall a guess or kind of in a gray area. everybody that I know, be it a hardcore casual fan, has issues with The Last Jedi. Even people that were not Star Wars fans that I personally know and went to go ahead and see The Last Jedi did not like the movie. So that speaks volumes in my eyes. So Kathleen Kennedy, kind of pointing at the fans and saying that they are the core of the problem because of them being overly demanding, and how them being the loud majority, or the loud minority I should say, instead of a majority, I think it just goes to show us how clueless Kathleen Kennedy really is, that she doesn't really know how many Star Wars fans are out there that have problems with how Luke was treated, with how Rian Johnson treated the overall sequel trilogy, and completely derailed the franchise. Jon Favreau, alright, mind you, is the very person that came in on purpose because he himself had issues with The Last Jedi. This guy is a true fan at heart. He even, does some Star Wars, references, if you will, in one of his movies from 1993 or 95, if I'm not mistaken, called Swingers. He himself, even during that time, was expressing Star Wars and his love for the franchise. So, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy is that we all saw, that she doesn't really care about the fans, because she's obviously working on The Acolyte, and that show is going to be more so in focus with promoting an agenda, as opposed to focusing on character development, focusing on proper storylines, etc., etc. The thing about Rian Johnson is that Kathleen Kennedy wants to bring him back into the world of Star Wars television. She wants to give him a shot on the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, and that just alone tells us that she has no remorse in the slightest. She has actually apologized before in the past. She has expressed that she was sorry before in the past couple of months. But that, of course, meant nothing, because look at where she's going now again. Rian Johnson back into the Star Wars world, going on the Acolyte series, how she wants to get him on board of a handful of episodes to handle that actual show. So here's the thing about all of this. The Gina Carano situation, the fact that many Lucasfilm employees had issues with her, even before her latest social media post, and how they wanted her gone as soon as possible, it's just horrible. I don't know why there's always a problem between people having problems over other people's opinions and stuff like that. That seems to be the overall structure over at Lucasfilm. It seems like that everybody's out to get somebody else that's not in line with their own opinions. That's how I see things, at least. So, like I've said before, I think that obviously Kathleen Kennedy, there's no doubt about it, that she has a one-sided agenda here when it comes to Star Wars, and it's very power-driven. It's very much revenue-driven, because she's focused on merchandise and she's focused on profit. But mind you guys, everything is still looking somewhat bright. We have the Kenobi series. We have the Ahsoka Tano show. Mandalorian is continuing. So far, nothing is stopping that. And Andor, I'm not really excited about that show. Let me be real and honest with you. Not excited in the least. But I am excited for everything else Star Wars coming into play here, when it comes to Kenobi, Ahsoka, Mando. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what John and Dave are really going to do to regulate things, and how that's really going to take play here. So, like I've said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.